I want to talk to you guys today about securing your stuff and my tips on securing your home, specifically your home, and protecting it from burglars, especially after what just happened to my customer. Um, I'm not a security expert, but I've been in this business for a while, and I've had my own problems with burglars in the past, and I'm going to tell you some of my tips, and if anybody else wants to chime in and leave some comments, especially if you're into security, I would appreciate it, and so would everybody else. The way things are with crime nowadays, these burglars and these thieves are getting more and more bold. What happened in the other video I was talking about my customer is very unfortunate, and it should be a wake-up call for some of you that are not securing your stuff as well as you should, and a little bit of a wake-up call for me as well, even though all my stuff's really secure. But as these burglars get more advanced in their techniques, and these thieves get more advanced in their techniques, they're finding ways around security systems, and I want to give you some of my tips. If you have a safe full of this stuff, along with other stuff, other valuables, it's got to be protected. So obviously, and I was wrong in my last video about the gun safe thing not being able to be pried open. I've seen some videos now where you're able to pry open the gun safes. As crazy as it is, I didn't think it would be possible, but I was wrong. It is 100% possible if somebody knows what they're doing. If that gun safe's not bolted down or bolted to a wall or something, and they can get it flat with the right tools and right pry bars and crowbars, you're able to get into that. So that's a big problem. Not to mention with the news recently about a certain safe company giving out codes. So I didn't know that these safe companies, especially these gun safe companies, had master codes to these safes that they could give out. So that makes me really uncomfortable. And apparently, I guess even a locksmith can call the company and get those codes. So all you would need is a serial number. The serial number of the safe. I guess you can call them and get the master code and open the safe. That's crazy. I don't want that. I don't like that idea at all. I'm sure most of you don't like it. I'm sure a lot of you didn't even know that they did that, just like me. I didn't know that you could get the code to the safe like that. But apparently you can, and I guess it's most of the gun safes out there has a master code. So I don't think now, especially after what happened, and especially what happened to my customer, gun safe is a smart option. The only way I would use a gun safe now is to use it as a dummy safe out in the open and keep very little in it. I still believe the dummy safe route where you got that safe and then you got your real safe hidden somewhere, preferably not out in the open somewhere they can see it from view. But obviously, you don't want them to have time to be able to break into a safe or to move a safe. I know they sometimes try to just take the safe with them if it's not heavy enough. And the UL rating, I believe you should have a UL rated 15 or 30 safe is a much better safe, much heavier, much harder to get into. I don't think they're very easy to move. So that's something you should look into. But, you got to have an alarm system on the house, number one. The alarm system will not stop them from getting into your home, but the alarm system will shorten the time they have. They won't have the time. Alarm systems going off, the police are being dispatched, but it's a number of minutes. It happened a few times in my shop, and it took, by the time the dispatch company or gets the phone call or gets the alert, excuse me, there's a delay before it gets to the police, and they dispatch police officers out to your place. So they might have 6-7 minutes before they actually police start showing up. So they got some time, but the alarm system, at least with an alarm system, these thieves don't have time to pry open a safe or break into a safe or to find your hidden safe or find your stuff that's hidden. They're just not going to have the time. So that's a must. I mean, I suggest don't be cheap. I know I've heard this from guys. Well, I don't want to pay the monthly fees. You got hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of stuff in the house, but you don't want to pay a monthly fee on monitoring for the alarm company monitoring. I think that's nuts and ridiculous. So, don't be cheap. Get an alarm system. For sure, cameras. The cameras aren't going to stop anybody from getting into your home or into your business, but at least you may be able to see something, get a license plate off their vehicle, see what they're doing, what they look like possibly. But even all of this stuff isn't going to stop them from, smashing your front door and running through the house. They'll probably have masks on. They'll have gloves on if they're smart, if they're pros, and just grabbing whatever they can left out. So obviously, don't leave nothing out in the open. But this happened to my store 3 times a number of years ago, and it was in a short period of time, a couple-month period. First time they smashed through the front glass window, came in and smashed a bunch of showcases and grabbed whatever they could. The alarm was going off, and I had cameras, so they didn't have time to get into try to even mess with the safe, even though I think there's little to no chance you're getting into that safe. But it was a big headache. And it's not fun being woken up in the middle of the night and have to go up to your shop and try to find somebody in the middle of the night to board up windows and clean up the mess. So that sucks. They came a second time about a month later, and I know it was the same people because there was 4 of them. They had the same exact outfits on. They had masks on. They had gloves on. It was definitely them, which is shocking that they would come back to a place they already robbed or burglarized. But they did. So now after the second time, they tried to go in through the ceiling, and they almost killed themselves because they cut a gas line, and the motion sensors up in the ceiling triggered the alarm. So these guys were real geniuses. After the second time it happened to me, I was thinking, how do I stop these guys? Because the alarm goes off, they get in, they do some damage, they steal some stuff, but it's not stopping them from getting in, and it's becoming annoying. I mean, I wasn't sleeping at night because I'm like, oh my God, when's it going to happen again? So what I did was at the time, and this was fairly new to these types of cameras, I bought a camera system to put onto the building that had motion sensors on it. And basically when it detected motion, specifically at certain times of the day or at night, I was getting alerts on my phone. So I went to bed, it was a Saturday night, about 3 in the morning, around the same time they've been there before. My phone started going crazy, I was getting alerts. Turn on the camera system, see them outside my back door. They were trying to break in through the back door, trying to cut through the hinges or something, or remove the hinges of the door. And got on the phone, called the police, they got caught. There were 4 of them. These were the same guys, 18 to 20-year-olds. And what's crazy was one of them, the father was an active police officer, and another one was a high-priced, high-paid criminal defense attorney. And they were charged with felonies. They were first-time offenders. It got bumped down to a misdemeanor, and I was supposed to get some restitution of a certain amount of money. I got part of it, and I never seen any more after that, and basically these guys got a slap on the wrist. which is a whole nother topic for discussion. But the point is, how I stopped this, and the best security I thought that I've seen so far was to have these camera systems on the outside of your property with motion sensors, because if you know they're there, they're not getting in. And there's other things you could do, like put alarm stickers in your window, put those alarm signs in your yard, visible cameras. So it's a deterrent. And I think most thieves, most of these burglars aren't going to mess with a house like that. You may have dogs. Some dogs are good for this, some aren't. Like my customer's dog didn't do nothing. He's a big dog, barks a lot, but he made friends with the burglars. They gave him some food. They threw him some cheeseburgers. So that defeated that. So I think the ultimate way to protect your house is the camera system with the motion sensors that detect motion and sends an alert to you. That way you could visually check through their app or your camera app and see if anybody's there actually. And I don't know a way for these burglars to be able to defeat something like that. If you know they're there before they get in, you're in good shape. But you need all the other stuff, of course, and obviously don't leave your stuff out in the open. And I've seen some of the comments about burying your stuff in your yard or in the woods. It's a great idea, but I don't know how many of us are actually going to go through something like that or will do that. So I still think in the house, secured, hidden spaces with a good hidden safe or a floor safe maybe would be the best way. But you gotta catch these people before they get in. So we'll leave it at that. If you have any comments about this, any security tips, I'd appreciate it if you leave it in the comment to talk about it. Also appreciate if you would like and subscribe to my channel. Trying to work on the channel and build it up, and we'll see where it goes. But I appreciate it. Have a great day. Thank you.